Oh, hi. What is Xhtml? And why do I care? Well, Xhtml is a strict application of the rules of HTML 4.01, which is what we have been looking at in this podcast. Okay? Now, why do I care? Well, I care because, people have these things, these smartphones, and people have these things, these iPads, and these tablet computers. In fact, there's all kinds of devices, web devices, that people are using to view web pages. And we want as big an audience as possible. If you want to take a look at my web page on your smartphone, God bless you. I want you to be able to enjoy it. So I am very, very concerned that my code is Xhtml compliant. Fortunately, we have a shorthand for Xhtml. It's XML. So if you hear XML, it's the same thing. Now, there are some rules. If you go out to w3schools.com to the HTML tutorials and you go through, you will see under Xhtml, I've got 3 lessons here for you to read. Intro, syntax, and doc type. Now, we are at doc type. And we're going to take a look at how do I make sure that my code is XML compliant in 6 easy steps. Well, the first thing you do is you add a doc type. So you can just copy this code right here and paste it into your web page, which is what I did for the Gettysburg address page. And that code is right there. Then go into your HTML tag and add the XML NS attribute, which stands for XML namespace. And I did that too. Right here. So, having copied and pasted those 2 entries into my web page, I then come in to step 3. I change all of my tags and attribute names to be lowercase. Now, I knew we were coming to this point, so I made a habit of always entering them in lowercase. Then number 4. Quote all attribute values. If you remember, whenever we would have a width or a border size where we would say width equals some number or some percentage, I always put the number in quotes. That's what they're talking about. Number 5, close all of your empty tags. In fact, make sure you end all of your toggle tags. And we consistently did that. And then the last step is to go ahead and validate your code with the W3C validator. Okay. So, what I did after going through my code is I highlighted the whole thing and I pasted it into the markup validation service, and then I said check. And it passed with only 2 warnings. Not bad, but didn't pass the first time, to be honest with you. I started with the strict rather than transitional, and I found that an image tag by itself was frowned upon. So I nested our image tag for Lincoln's picture. I nested it within paragraph tags, paragraph on and off. Then it was fine. The other thing it didn't like were the block quotes. So I went through and deleted all of the block quotes, because if I actually wanted to have a nice left and right margin, I would have set the thing up in a table and would have had a TD on either side of my text that would be blank. And that would be the best way to achieve that look. But we didn't know it until we got to layout with tables. Okay? So, deleted that, and then we passed with only 2 warnings. And the 2 warnings deal with the way that I specified my hyperlink targets. Okay, so there's our page. It passed. It's transitionally XML compliant. We are good to go. Now, this is the last podcast that you need to view before you take your practice quiz out at W3 Schools. And if you get a good score on that, go ahead and take the certification exam. If you didn't, well, you can always review these podcasts and practice some more until you do better on that practice quiz. Then get that certification. I've got a couple more podcasts on HTML5 just to whet your appetite, and this series will be done. Have fun, guys.